Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 5 of the Sim Racing Alliance Pro Division GT3 Team Series. I'm your humble cameraman, Jess Osborne.
Followed along with Alex Daniel.
And joining today from the AM is Dehi.
Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you in the panel with us.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, everybody, welcome and look forward to this SRA Season 2 Race 5 at Kyalami, better known as Calamari. But no, really looking forward to this race. Weather's going to be perfect. Drivers have been practicing. Looking for definitely a clean race. It is a tight course, so there definitely won't be too many overtaking points, but definitely some straights for the drivers to try to be able to make some moves on one another. So looking forward to a close but competitive race. So
Yeah, definitely. This track is quite challenging just to drive around it. So it will be a testament of the driver's ability to stay clean and also try to take care of the tires, because just from the 30-minute race last night, it was pretty challenging to.
Yeah, I heard
keep
a lot of
them
people complaining
alive.
about their tires. And for the track walk, let's leave it with the people a little faster and smarter than me. So Dehi, why don't you talk us through from start to finish?
Actually, can you do that in a couple minutes? I just have to set something up.
Oh, sure, no worries.
no, but speaking to last night's practice race, it was definitely one of those where everyone needs to give time for the grid to space out. I think that's one where people just try to make a place a little too early, and then it can lead to just kind of bunching up and not being able to kind of get out of the corners, you know, in a good straight way. So it's just one of those where we just need to hope that the pros allow for the grid to space itself out. That was one thing that I saw was kind of a key takeaway that I took from last night's practice race.
Definitely.
But it is a fun course for sure.
Oh yeah, I feel like I'm hanging on just barely by my nails, and I'm not even going fast. But it's a lot of fun.
Agreed. No, if it's clean, it's fun. So.
Well, while the drivers are getting ready to do their first hot laps, let's go over the current standings after last week's round 4. So in the lead with the commanding gap is Michael Menning with 313 points. Followed by him for P2 is our founder, I believe, admin, Tyler James with 276 points. Followed again closely behind by Evan Kim, who you'll hear commentating us tomorrow and last week on Wednesdays for the pro amateur races. And the field behind him is really close, nipping at the heels for a podium spot. And I hear cars rumbling out on the field now.
Alright, I am back. So we can take a quick look at the track.
Oh yeah, let's take the track walk from Yoon's perspective. Just a moment and I'll fix the camera. Here we go.
Alright, there we go. Alright, so I believe the corner that's upcoming is called the Sunset Bend. It's a pretty epic right-hander. You basically just tap the brakes very lightly and steer all the way around the corner. It's a very tight brake point right here where you can easily oversteer and spin your car really on the front of the track, but it's crucial for the speed. Upcoming is the SC, also very tricky and technical corner. Well, you can lose a lot of time. And upcoming is one of the only few spots where you can get a track winner. So a lot to take care of here. There's a hairpin on the top of the hill. The rear of the car typically likes to step out around here, so pretty heavy on the tires if you don't manage the throttle properly. This section here is flat out, and comes another tricky braking point where you can also maintain a lot of speed through this apex. Of course, Yoon is just on a outlap, so he's not really taking care about the speed here. Looks like the pros are trying to build a gap before they start their flying laps. And I just missed one of the epic sausage curves in this track that can claim a lot of victims. We'll see if anybody falls to that sausage curve tonight. And Yoon is cornering the last turn of the track, and on he goes to start
lap.
straight.
Leave it on him since he's one of the quicker pros.
So you brake right around the 100 board here. Try to get a tight apex, not too much on the curve. You want to stay tight to this curve, but miss the apex right there. Quick brake, left-hander, don't get on the throttle too early. And try to carry as much speed through the section so you can have a nice long arc through the Sunset Bend. It's a very satisfying corner to get right, but also quite nuanced, I think.
Oh, definitely. I get it with the slight blip downshift, and if I take it too hot, it's very easy to feel the rear end going out from under me.
And the curves around this track are pretty interesting. They have sort of a two-step design where the bottom half of the curve is pretty tame, but as soon as you step onto the top of it, your car will jump.
Yeah, it definitely invites you into the danger zone. I take a lot of curb on this corner right here, and something's just a little bit too much, and it's game over.
Yeah, I've been told that sticking to the inside at the top of the hairpin has more grip, so that's probably the right call. You can have a very wide exit here and to help carry the speed, and here is the infamous sausage curve. Yoon has his spy safely there.
But he already took out the 50 yard mark there.
Yeah, with a grid that's pretty sizable, like none of the brake markers should be taken for granted.
So you crosses the line, setting his first flying lap for a solid 142.7. But as you can see, everybody else already also just barely getting warmed up and also in striking distance. I'm confident we're going to see low 141s before qualifying's done.
Right, Duran setting the top time is here. He's obviously one of the more competitive pros tonight. I heard Porsches are actually one of the most competitive cars around this track too.
I believe it.
Yeah, I know Suniga will be also very competitive on this track. I was practicing with him a couple times and he was hitting the low 41s and even 40s at some times, so very, very fast.
Yeah, he's a newcomer to the league, and he is, I believe he recently switched over to a wheel from a controller, so it's amazing how fast he is.
And coming from controller world, it is night and day on being able to understand just, you have, you know, no pun intended, the control itself is just, you have none almost. There's no feel to the game. You almost just, the immersion is not even there either. So it's very hard to be able to roll the controller, you know, stick to be able to make the apex. And
Definitely.
sometimes
I can say everything you're saying is true. I recently came from controller racing on a DualShock 4 in the Porsche. I don't know how I survived to a wheel. And yeah, when you're driving on a controller, like you say, you just don't have the control for how fast you want to steer the car in, and just to even survive, it feels like you're getting by on the goodwill of the assists. You're barely playing the game.
couldn't say it better myself. Yep. So no, once you go over to the wheel though, it's, you won't ever want to go back.
Never. It's collecting dust.
It is right now. I put it back with the Xbox.
Speaking of the fastest pros around the track, Matt Lehman, who hosted the coaching session for Kyalami, I think he currently has the fastest time on our leaderboard. I think 40 point something.
And the fastest time on track at the moment, just crossing the line with a 142 too.
Yep, on the leaderboard, fellas, he was 140. Ooh, and I believe that's 615. So 46s is what he got. 40.6. Very fast, unbelievably fast. He really is in a league of his own there.
In striking distance right now is cleansing, up 4/10. If he maintains that, that would put him on pole.
He's also a newcomer to the league this season, but he's been quite fast. I believe he was on the podium at least one time in the last four races. Speaking of the podiums, of course, last week, the first place finish was done by Tyler James, and he has a 30 kilogram ballast to congratulate that. The second place finisher, Taylor, unfortunately is not joining today. And then I believe Max Sanchez had the third place with 10 kilograms of ballast.
Look at that livery, though. That's got to make him go so much faster. You won't even feel it.
For those that are unfamiliar, we do have a success ballast system to make sure the same person doesn't finish on the podium every single week.
Yeah, I think it's lame.
30 kilogram equates to about, I think, 40 liters of fuel. So it's not insignificant, but also not too significant either.
Yeah, I forgot I had it, but then when I was reminded afterwards, one of the races, I think 2 weeks ago, I was like, oh yeah, that totally checks out. I definitely had extra weight. You can feel it. I never get tired of looking at that big, wide purple Bentley. I mean, to look at it.
Evan definitely likes to stand out.
Evan, definitely one of our most consistent drivers around here.
Absolutely.
Now, chat, answer something for me if you would. But would you describe this color as purple? This is, I don't know if I'm crazy, but it's like it stands out to me because it's one of those very specific odd shades of purple. I don't know, I like it.
No, and it's got that. It's not being matte either. It's just it's the right amount of balance with the metallic and the purple. No, I
Yeah.
think he did very well with it. The tones go very well with one another. No, I agree.
Now, Duran looking all black with just purple wheels has to be his fault because I updated my livery repo right before the race. And I
Was
know
he
it
having
worked.
issues?
I'm not
Okay.
sure, but I know it worked because before and after Suniga's showed up for me.
Okay.
Oh, and here
Yep.
we're seeing it, the 151s. I told you they're coming.
We
Already
knew that
putting
they
a
would pick up pace.
151.59, and there's only more to come.
No, as soon as space started to be had, as well as tow, these pros, they'll pick up speed instantly. Currently on pole is Cleansing at a 41.5, followed by Samuel Saniga, and then Dominic Duran.
Something that jumps out to me, though, we'll see how it wraps up with the next two qualifying laps that everybody gets in, but the gap from pole right now is quite spread out. I feel like we're used to seeing less than 7/10 of a gap going back to like
True.
P6, P7.
True. Nope.
I wonder if
Agreed.
we'll see those gaps filled soon.
Who's favorite for y'all tonight? Who y'all thinking?
Well, I'm rooting for Tyler James, but everybody thinks I'm a fool, including himself, because he doesn't feel very confident on this track, but I'm sure he's going to do well.
I was speaking with him earlier today. He was saying the same thing, lacking a little bit of confidence today, but knowing that when the pro level and it's race night, Tyler definitely shows up to play, and
Yeah.
I know that he will be able to hold consistency throughout the whole race. So it was the one incident on an Apex in the practice race that he lost control of the back end, and he doesn't need to hold himself. He doesn't need to be too hard on himself just for that. So. But Dominic Duran too, I know that he definitely has so much speed with the Porsche here on this, so I'm thinking
He's very fast.
potentially he might be one of my favorites tonight.
He's a solid
So
pick. My more realistic pick, I'm rooting for James, of course, but my realistic pick would be Lehman. He's also wicked fast. He knows his stuff.
now if
Yeah,
he
I
can get
think
out
Matt
front,
Lehman
yeah.
would also be my top pick. Although I would expect Evan to also at least make it to the podium because he survives these difficult tracks very well.
Evan Kim?
Yes.
I hope so. I want to see that purple on the podium.
He's capable of hitting at least 41s, so he's got
Consistently,
some
yeah,
trouble.
or low 42s, absolutely agreed. And to be honest, I mean, we say that these, the pros are consistent, but I'm sure there might be some incidences, and that's just where you need to just play, race for yourself, be patient, and then make a move, with others, other incidences, and that's when you'll be able to make a move. And I think if Evan can at least be higher than P10 at the end of qualifying, he should be able to stay consistent enough to, I'm thinking definitely P5 or above for sure.
Oh, and he
I'm hoping
improves
he can. I'm
greatly
hoping
to P8.
absolutely he does. There it is. There it is. Well done.
He's just waiting to
Looks like
show off
there's
what
a
he can
bit of
do.
a gap between the top 4 and the rest of the grid. Just within a couple of tenths, there's 5th through the 11th.
Yeah, and a
What Jess
huge
was
gap
saying.
between 4th and 5th.
Mm-hmm.
So, if this is indicative of the race, I think we're going to see one battle up front for the podium, and then a bunch of battles in the midfield, but a big gap between the two.
And we've been used to seeing that in both divisions. Podium placements will pretty much kind of
Yep, 3 or 4 or
take
5 people
off.
drive
Yep.
off.
Yep. Take off, and then they'll just have their own battle for the whole race.
I mean, the fact that there's going to be battles all the way throughout the grid will just be better for the spectators.
Absolutely.
Looks
Agreed.
like the chat has a couple of votes for Suniga and Mofat, and also Katezovic. Sorry if I butchered that name, but
I think it's Kyalami. It's my
Katezovic. Okay,
closest guess, knowing a
but we
few
should take a
Polish
closer look
people.
at those drivers as well.
You both are correct.
I like his BMW too. Something candy-like about it, you know? Like nerds.
I do. Yep.
Good stuff.
Different and unique. It is very good. With the gold rim.
Kalamadiak having a moment. This can't be the first time he's had an incident at the pit lane.
We're
I
all
remember
familiar.
something crazy happening in the practice race last night, but I didn't quite catch who it was, and we didn't look at the replay, but it was madness, and I think it was an Audi. Let's not dwell. Funk also having a moment. Not want to see that on your last hot lap.
Or at least get them out right now.
Let's see
Yeah,
who's
for
improving
2
greatly.
races in a row, we
Lehman.
had someone blocking the pit.
Lehman 2/10 up on his last lap. That would put him on P3. 3/10 up.
3. Yep.
One sector to go. He's lost most of his advantage though. Oh, and he's done. No improvement.
I believe I saw him invalidate.
Ah.
Right after that last. Yep. Right after that last curve.
Looks
Or
like
that last corner.
Doug, Duran, and Evan, and one other person are still under.
Yep, and Moses currently the one standing most to improve, almost 3/10 up now.
And that would put him right up the field. Maybe 6.
That'd put him 6th.
I would say right around P6. You're all right. Let's see if he can capitalize.
Oh, and he's climbing again. Where's it gonna be? P6.
Oh,
Excellent.
P6. Good call, fellas.
Finishes right in front of his teammate.
What a fast boy.
Good lap. Good lap. All right, time for the final tune-ins. I'm sure some engine maps will be adjusted for the formation. Hopefully these gents will know to turn it back. I know we had some practice incidents last night with that, so lesson learned.
Yep, while everybody's doing their panic maths just to double check how much fuel they're bringing, let's go back over the standings for everybody who might have tuned in later. So again, it's Michael Menning with a commanding lead with 313 points, followed by Tyler James with 276, followed by Evan Kim with 241, and then the rest of the pack nipping at his heels.
No, you love to see it. Battles all around, right outside podium placements for the championship. And everyone's hungry, so.
Oh yeah, when it's this close.
Oh, absolutely.
And again, revisiting the penalties, whether it be for, or not the penalties, let's not say, but the weight ballasts, whether for penalties or for succeeding too much, like getting on a podium. Our pole position, Grant Cleansing with a 10 kilogram ballast, Matt Lehman with 30 kilograms, Colin Madiak with 10, Tyler James with 30, and Matt Sanchez with 10.
All right, and away we go with the formation. Right at 6 p.m. in South Africa. Weather looks beautiful.
Yeah, how are the
Track optimum.
temps?
Track optimum right now, track's 27 degrees. Ambient is 24. Little to no wind and clear weather all night. Again, a running joke that we all love that ghosting is a part of the formation lap.
Oh, yes, we would see quadruple the
drivers-
incidents if not for that.
Yes, sir, we would. But no, drivers right now currently just working on getting their tire pressures up and heating up their brakes, so.
Just a fun fact before, as you get started, I think the dangerous sausage curve is actually called the cheetah curve. And
Okay.
there's also other
'Cause it's
interesting
deadly,
curve lanes
right?
like barbecue and crocodiles. But yes, cheetah is deadly.
Oh man, that thing. You gotta know the right apex there because it's right at it, so. It'll get you. I know all of these guys are well aware of where they need to make that turn in. All in all, a pretty spread out field when it comes to the cars. P2 and P3, we got two Porsches next to each other.
Yeah, I like
6
seeing
and 8,
plenty of
two
variety.
Lambos. Yep, and then just really between 13 and 16, you see some Beamas there, but all in all, pretty spread out grid. So
Yeah, plenty of drivers here with very equal pace though, so I think we got a lot of potential to see a lot of battles.
side by side now, we are almost there.
And the last cars are rounding the corner, moments away from lights out.
Green light.
And we're off.
We are green and Kyalami.
Going
Good
into
luck,
turn
gentlemen.
one. A very hard turn and hard braking zone, so let's see what pops off here.
A lot of three
The leaders
wides
get
there.
through. Oh, 3 wide behind. Insanity. 3 wide. It's 4 by 3. There are cars everywhere.
I saw that.
That's insane. It looks like just minor contact. Nobody got murdered. Insane. Let's go back to the lead. Look at that.
Incredible. Oh, that's one to remember for those boys.
Now the timetables sorting themselves out. So not running away with it yet, though. There is a bit of fighting right here. Busick getting a bit of a better exit than Kim, but he's showing the outside that turned to the inside, but has to tuck in behind. And now Busick just gets a huge runaway for it.
Yeah, it's a good exit there.
Kim wanting to strike back, but he's absolutely surrounded.
Yeah, again, not much you can do really except just let the grid space out and then pick and choose your battles.
Oh, looking up the inside.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
sends it up just a
no.
bit too much. Spins him right around. Oh,
Oh,
he
no.
can't see him driving blind around the corner. Can't react in time.
No,
Oh,
no,
just
yeah.
terrible. Oh, Kim's
Oh,
gonna
that's
feel that one
frustrating.
the rest of the race. Sorry, Kim. Caster's curse will look elsewhere, so you don't have to survive us anymore.
Been guilty of that and already going to the pits, obviously.
So Dominic Duran in P4, still holding on to the podium position, still in view. No pack is commandingly driven away quite yet. The biggest winner out of lap 1 seems to be Doug Mitchell, gaining 4 positions out of that to put him into P10. Let's go back to the fight for P1 though. Cleansing followed closely by fan favorite newcomer Suniga, a half a second gap.
Yep, right at 4/10. Benzine with the fastest lap so far, but we know that'll change.
It's P1 right up ahead.
Hold that apex. Good exit by Suniga.
Meanwhile,
Yeah,
Lehman's also reeling in that gap. Just got the gap down to less than a second.
Nah, he's something else in the McLaren.
Looks like we got a really close battle between Matt Sanchez and Funk right now. 2/10 of a gap between the two of them right now. And we know Sanchez is fast, so it might be a move on shortly.
Oh no, looks like Evan got a stop-go 30 penalty, potentially entering
Speeding in the
pit too
pits.
quickly.
Oh
Yeah.
no, that's pretty much going to be game over for his
Adding
race.
insult to
That's
injury there,
brutal.
yeah.
Motor racing is not fair, is it, folks?
No, it's not. I'm sure a little bit of that stemmed from frustration. Just wanting to get back out there on the track.
Sorry, Kim. Alright, let's not curse you anymore.
Looking like a close battle between P13 and 14. Sanchez and Funk, yep. Just 5/10 off, looking like the closest. P9, Myers.
Oh, it looks like
Sure.
someone dipped their wheels in the grass just now.
We'll try to make sure we keep our viewers with the closest battles. Busick right now, P6, looking at 2/10 difference.
Busick was, of course, recently promoted from the AM division, but
It didn't take him long
convincingly showing
either.
It did not. That guy did not need to be in the AM division. It would have been a Lehman effect.
Breathing all over Moses' neck. Bringing the gap down to 0.4 now.
As Alex mentioned, it's not an easy track to make a pass, so you have to be patient.
No, Busick's calculating right now. Trying to see pace, trying to see where he makes up time.
This is an excellent spot if he was closer.
On exit of that corner right there, if you can hug it tight on that straight, I mean, that's where you can get the slipstream and then hopefully make a move, but doesn't look like it'll happen now.
Slowly reeling that gap in down to 0.3 now. But not far up ahead for the fight for P2. Lehman, half a second off of Suniga, who has fallen back by about half a second off Cleansing, so it looks like P1 might be driving away with it. Let's not miss any action though. Busick getting even more all over the back of Moses.
Yeah, this is a really good battle right now. Yeah, Cleansing's really trying to take advantage of that clean air for sure. Oh, Busick a little bit off in there.
That's not going to help
there.
that dirt on those tires.
No.
Looks like Sanchez. Sanchez getting even more in the thick of it with Funk.
Looking at the field again, P11 Madiak with Mitchell, 3/10 difference.
I'm always sliding through here.
Right on. Me too. It's the beautiful song and dance of the oversteer in the back, trying to get out from underneath you.
Yep. Oh, the BMW ahead getting a little sideways. That's going to slow up the Ferrari and makes things real interesting.
Sanchez just being patient though. Let these two battle. That brings him up into it.
Looks like Schwartz had a moment. We unfortunately missed it. Let's check it out.
Sure.
Oh, that's obvious what happened there. He
Man.
took way too much of that deadly curb. Lost the rear end. It's game over from there. Just a passenger.
Took our first victim.
I mean,
Yep,
you see how much angle he had on there, right? That was like 30 degrees. I don't think our wheels even turned that far. Lehman still all over Suniga for P2. So yeah, the relative positions for P1, 2, and 3 are quite consistent right now. With Duran kind of holding on to stay on the track, bringing up the rear.
Yeah, I think it will come
Funk
down
getting
to
the move
who
on with
manages
someone.
the tires better.
We got a fight brewing, boys. Oh, is he gonna leave the space? Not
Ooh,
quite enough.
touchy.
He had to tuck in behind or risk spinning there. Getting feisty here.
Oh, he has a much better run out of the S's.
Let him know he's. Oh, what a move!
Oh, but he's gonna be shown the outside here. He's gonna get his cutback.
The corner.
Not if the Ferrari keeps it planted on the apex.
And he did.
All over the he's pushing him through. He's practically pushing him through the track. Oh, looks like Mitchell a couple positions ahead just must have had a mild spin. Didn't lose him position, but his gap just increased hugely. Connolly having a huge moment. Getting perpendicular on the track. Let's see what happened there.
Is it the cheetah again?
Looks like it could be the cheetah. We might have another victim.
Collects
fellas.
a second
Oh,
soul.
no.
Oh, sure enough, just touch those right side tires, man. That's all it takes.
Picture perfect action replay.
That's all it takes.
Back to the fight for P2. Lehman getting even closer to Suniga. Only a matter of time before he's in his rear bumper.
No, he's definitely closing that gap and making it. He's letting him feel the pressure, which sometimes that alone can
Oh, and
cause
we just
nope.
missed a moment. What happened here between Maris and Stefiak? All clean, all kosher, all fine. Oh, way too late on the brakes.
Oh.
Or maybe too early, who's to say. Little kick, little kiss. Mwah.
I would say that would be a little bit for Chris on the late braking there.
Looks like he was slowing down to wait for Chris there.
But they are still in the race, though. Probably just some mild damage to show for it. Only losing a few positions.
Chris doing the right thing there.
And Lee right behind Chris. It looks like the mid-pack all around P10 is starting to spread out quite a bit. Average about a second between all the drivers. But Yoon all over Busick looking for
I did see
P6.
3/10 there, absolutely. Hungry and aggressive.
I love this part of the track. Reminds me of Suzuka.
No.
Busick also all over Moses, so things are about to pop off here.
Lehman's losing a little bit of time. Not really sure what's happening, but he's lost about
about a
4
second.
to 5 tenths there. Yeah. Yep. Suniga might just be having the right racing line.
He's Suniga's matching Cleansing, I think, right now for pace. Yeah.
Cleansing, of course, with the fastest time. What is the purple lap right now?
One moment. That would be
at the
Cleansing
41.
with a 42.1.
42.1. Excuse me.
Race pace. It's amazing.
Yeah, he's doing this with a almost full tank. I couldn't. Couldn't even do a 40. Well, I could do a 43, but yeah, I couldn't do a 42.
Almost 41.
Suniga's best lap, more than a second behind though. Oh no, excuse me, I can't see.
Last
Only a
lap.
10th. Only a 10th behind.
Yeah. Yep. Correct.
So let's get back to the mid-pack battles right now. We got Sanchez less than half a second behind Kajtejevic in that lovely Red Bull BMW.
Taylor Carter, his partner, he would be in the Red Bull as well, but on travel this weekend, so we'll see him next weekend when he comes back. We miss you, buddy.
Yes, please come home. Looks like we got another battle developing around P15. We got 4 drivers all within a second and a half. All different cars too. And Chris Stefiak making the move now, going around the outside, making it look easy.
Very nice. Clean.
Reynolds going to want to retaliate though.
Going down to P19. Thomas, 3/10 off of Fickert. See if we can get a battle here. A Bruin, battle of Bruin.
Oh, and just up ahead, Maris gets moved done on Lee. What is that, a Bentley flashing his lights, I see?
I think some of that can be strategy.
Yep, mental warfare is allowed.
The psych ops.
Well, let's move up ahead to Sanchez, looking to get a move done all over the bumper of Kajtejevic. Looks like it's about to happen in the hard braking zone into left-hander. He's got the inside. Is he brave enough on the brakes?
The inside.
Not much of an overlap. Oh, there he goes. Side by side.
He's left the space. He shows the space on the outside, and they're wheel to wheel.
Oh, but just the inside ride again, and then coming out to the next left.
And he is early enough on the brakes.
What a clean, very clean.
Excellent driving.
Great move, Max. Absolutely.
Compared to the night race in Imola, it has been much cleaner so far.
Oh yeah, the driver's a lot more confident on track. Up ahead, Yoon all over the rear end of Busick.
Yeah, you know he wants it. He knows he has the pace too, so he's just trying to advance as far as he can in the grid right now.
Yep, but Busick won't make it easy because they are both fast boys.
Yes, sir.
And it looks like up ahead, the fight for the podium has settled down, the gap going down to a second between the drivers. But the fight for P15 is only getting hotter. Or fight for P13, rather.
We'll stay in the midfield battles if that's where the action is.
Oh, looks like a big dive bomb. Lamborghini ends up going super wide. I think he's the one who sent it. And now he's going to hold up the 2 cars he was fighting with. And Stefiak says, thank you very much.
I will take that and move along. Yeah, the whole grid roughly about a second apart from one another.
Looking up the inside, thinks better of it. Thomas on Fickert. Looks like he gets a much better exit. Or not quite, actually. Maybe he ducked out of it.
Same thing. Yes, I thought the same thing, and he ducked out.
Yep. Choosing caution, choosing to live to race another lap. Not a bad choice, because there's plenty of time left in this race.
There is.
This fight's
Looks
still
like
4
Matt
away from
Lehman just
P13.
claimed the
Sorry, go ahead.
Looks like Matt Lehman just claimed the purple lap.
Yes, he did. We're seeing now the 141's the high one, though, 0.9. They'll get faster as they burn more fuel. Newton's still all over Busick. It looks like he had an odd exit there. Let's follow along going to the first turn, hard left-hander. How brave is he going to be, and see if he can reel in some of this gap.
Definitely be a make or break corner here.
Yeah, because
I'll
it sets
take
you
the
up for
corner
the
very
sweeping
nice.
bits afterwards, which if you nail it, it's going to be flat out. Kiss the curb, flat out for the straight.
And coast.
See, I downshift top of third, coast, accelerate.
Yeah, teach their own. I do the same thing you do, Jess. I go down to third and coast that out.
It looks like Moffitt just got the move done on Lee. Let's go back and check that out. Oh, looks up the outside. Nope, tucks right back in behind. But we just missed a good fight is all.
The cars are prone to oversteer at that corner, so it's really hard to put your foot down to try to get a better exit.
We have our three-way battle for P13. Lamborghini sitting up the inside, but he doesn't protect the exit. So Reynolds is gonna have it, or Stefiak's gonna have a chance, but you know they get an equal run out. Come on, cameraman. Getting close there.
Peter is just patiently waiting by for his chance. Oh, we just saw a car go off in the cheetah.
Peter, I don't know. Would we just?
Yeah, it claims another life.
He loves to
it's
touch the
Mofat.
paint there on the rear bumpers.
Oh, yep. Front end gets unsettled, rear end loses traction. Fortunately, it didn't get collected by anybody. Sorry. Let's go back to our fight for P5. Three-way battle right now between Moses, Busick, and Yoon. Busick only half a second behind Chris Moses. Don't you just love Yoon's livery? It's so fancy.
It is fancy. Now he's gotten compliments from the whole league on that one. Let's go on down to Tyler James, P15. 3/10 off of Thomas.
Oh, and he's got a
See if he can make
Burple
a move.
Bentley all over him.
He does have the Burple Bentley.
But
Stay on him for a minute and see. Dahi, are you there?
Dahi, are you there?
Seems to be having some technical difficulties.
There he is, I heard him. Let's go back to our next biggest battle right now, still for P5, Moses, Busick, and Yoon. All with just a small gap between the three of them. Oh, and as I say that, we just missed a move, Moffitt and Morrison. Let's check it out. Or was it just pitting? Oh, it was just him leaving the pit lane.
Yeah.
Ends up having to tuck in behind.
The pit exit here is rather long.
Yes, it is.
Exit line.
Well, as we enter the phase where soon the drivers are going to be entering the pit lane for their one mandatory pit stop with at least 1 liter of fuel taken, it's settled down quite a bit. There's only 3 fights right now that are less than 1 second each.
The track and ambient has cooled off as well. What was 27 for track is now 25, and then ambient went down to 23 from 24.
This is valuable information for the AM race tomorrow.
Yeah, you have to wonder if the lower track temperature is gonna modify the wear such that you want to take a tires during the pit stop, like
Tire.
some people were thinking about, or if it decreases the tire wear where it makes it absolutely not an option. Only practice is gonna tell.
At the very least, you could choose
Busick
to
reeling in that
inflate
gap now
tires a
down
little
to
bit more.
0.2. This fight's about to
Go ahead,
pop off for P5.
Go ahead, Dahi.
Yeah, because the track temperature is decreasing, you could opt to put another click or two in the tires to counteract that.
No, agreed.
That's Chris Moses followed by Dominic Duran followed by Chris Moses, Bradley Busick, and Steve Yoon. Really starting to get feisty now.
Yeah, P5 to 8. Or to 7, excuse me. P5 to 7 is really tight right now.
And these are big points.
Chris keeping that Lambo very wide.
And all of those gentlemen in contention, so wanting to really get everything out of it that they can.
Looks like Fickert just got the move done, or Stefiak on Fickert. Let's check that out. Oh, looks like he just went super wide. Gets the inside. Thank you very much.
Easy.
Yeah, you're just a little bit late there on the brakes. There's nothing you can do really. You can't try and be brave and just take more corner because the curb say no. Just a half second gap between Funk and Kajtezovic for P11 now. Been reeling that in slowly.
Let's take a quick look at the race leader's lap. Let's hop on board with him.
Sure.
He's been very consistent throughout.
He's running his race.
Just from the little that I could see that his inputs were very smooth. Party has a lot of
looks like Doug
confidence.
Mitchell just had a moment. Let's check that out before we lose. Oh, I already missed it. Sorry, Doug.
The cheetah.
So he lost whatever position he was fighting within, and then he fell probably fell a couple positions right after this with the dirty tires. Unfortunate. Or no, it looks like he's about to. Now the pack's on his heels.
Oh, looks like the pit is about to open.
Yep, Oh, and either his tires or his tires are be gone.
Cooked.
He's cooked.
Yeah, they gotta be cooked right now.
Maybe with the pit. Do you think he finishes this lap and goes straight for swapping tires?
That would set him back to the last, almost. So I can't see him thinking that's worth it.
Probably right. Oh, but look, he's getting pushed. He's getting bullied.
Oh, by Trav.
I wonder if he has other damage. Maybe we missed a collision with a wall or something.
It's got to be something. He's crawling.
Yeah. And Doug has pace, so there's got to be some damage going on there. And Trav knows it, takes advantage, and takes the pass.
Job's done. Yoon entering the pits. Colin Madiak staying out. Sanchez also entering with him. And Funk.
No, I'm with you there for Doug, though, Dahi. If not for the damage, he should have stayed out for probably 2 more laps. But I'm thinking if he does have some damage, he's probably going to want to get in there and get that fixed.
Yeah, definitely.
Bunch more drivers entering the pits now. Lee, Mitchell, Sanchez, Thomas.
The pit entry for this track is quite unique in that the braking point for the pit is much earlier than the actual braking point for the upcoming corner.
Yeah.
It's very tricky.
Yeah, the guard marker I was using was right as my bumper crosses the dividing line that segments that the pit entry starting, that's when I slammed on the brakes. And it's a little conservative,
Okay.
but it was safe, and I was about 40 kilometers right before I crossed the line.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be behind someone who's braking for the pit. That would be
Yeah,
catastrophic.
bad news.
Yep, so folks that are just joining us, this is Season 2, Race 5 at Kyalami. Right now, podium placements are Kinsling, Saniga, and Lehman. Pit window has just opened, so we are at the halfway point of the race.
And your overlay is a
And-
lie. Your commentators are me, Jess Osborne, but not Jacob Wolfman and Kyle Martin. They couldn't make it, so I'm joined by...
Alex Daniel.
And Dahy.
And Dahy. Sorry, Dahy, I did not mean to talk over you, sir. Yep,
No,
Jacob is driving, vibing, and thriving right now, y'all. So
we miss him dearly.
a statement we all live by. No, really, fellas, the track is still very well spaced out, you know. So I see, I believe P8, Matiak, looking like he's just a 10th behind. Oh, coming out. Okay, understood. Coming out of pit.
with a couple drivers in front of him that have not pit yet.
Looks like there's about maybe 25 seconds from Chris to Busick.
And I wonder why that Bentley pulled over.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing, Jess. Not sure what was going on
It could
there.
be that it's Evan who is making way since he's blue flagged.
Back marker. Okay.
Ah.
All right. I didn't see any blue flags. Okay.
Well, nonetheless, this is your closest fight on track right now. Bradley Busick and Colin Matiak for P9. Less than half a second between the two. And right up ahead, the pair up ahead, Yoon, all over James. All four of these guys, fast boys.
Five minutes, 40 seconds left for the pit. P1 through 7 has not pitted yet, except Duran just went in.
Since we're back on Colin right now, he has very good pace around here, showcased by his race on Monday, where if not for the missed pit stop, he would have placed first.
Oh yeah.
Looks like he didn't make the same mistake today, which is good to see.
Oh, Steffiak having a moment, looking real slow right here. What happened here? Oh, a little too much curb, turned in too fast.
Oh man,
that's a bummer.
It could be the battery going.
Possibly. A couple more drivers entering the pits now. Kajtezovic, Reynolds, Schwartz. And our front runners all still have not pit.
Tyler trying to make up ground. He's gonna push it all the way to that last lap to get in the pit. I think that actually helped him out in, I believe, Imola. I think it was an undercut situation that he was able to kind of stay out there late, and he was able to make up, I believe, 2 positions.
I believe he was leading the whole race on Imola.
Yep, pit strategy works, and so does good exits. We're going side by side now.
And looks like Colin made the pass.
He did.
Busick a little hot.
Busick.
That's going to lose him position to, who is that?
That must be Evan Kim?
Oh, yeah, yeah, blue flag, who then comes in to serve as mandatory pit stop. Got a close fight now between Mitchell and Schwartz for P19. I love that livery, city skyline.
Both going a little wide there.
A little hot, almost into the rear end. It's Maris getting passed for.
Perhaps exiting the pits.
Oh yeah. Back to the Schwartz and Mitchell fight. Oh, and as I say that, we said our front runners hadn't come in. Now they have. Our pole position cleansing coming in to serve his right now. Lehman and Suniga opting to stay out just a little while longer. It might pay off. We'll see what kind of traffic cleansing comes out into. I think he's probably going to come out into this fight right here between Yoon and James. Oh no, they're off on the opposite side of the track. But they've had a consistent fight going on. Okay, cleansing. Wonder why. What's his pit stop so long? Do you think he must have taken tires just now? Hold on, let me go into the statistics. Pit. Yeah, he stopped for 34 seconds.
Oh, that sounds like tires.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was a mistake.
We'll have to ask him afterwards. I certainly can't explain it. But it put him a bit further behind you, actually. So yeah, that spits him out in P7. Surely not what he was hoping to see. That puts him behind Duran, who that's accurate because Duran has served his pit stop. Once again, I'm getting debated by the standings. Looked like Maris passed somebody. But we'll see if Lehman and Suniga do their pit stop now. Surely they have to. They're running out of time. And yep. And so we'll see the true standings or how they're going to shake up when they leave the pit stop and see where they come out relative to cleansing. Because that is the fight for the race lead. Cleansing, meanwhile, is right behind Busick, who is under no obligation to give him any recourse.
Right, it must be frustrating. He has mega pace. He will be proper fast right now with fresh tires, but it is a difficult track to pass.
Yes, sir. And now Suniga leaves his mandatory pit stop for what looks like track position P1. So that worked out beautifully for him. Not so much for cleansing.
You can get no.
Lehman also very happy. And it looks like cleansing and Busick are swapping places, trying to get by. Let's see what happened here. So it looks like cleansing did get side by side, but Busick was braver on the brakes, tucked back ahead, said, I don't have to give you the spot. I'm not blue flagged, sir.
Keep running my race.
But this is the closest fight, so let's stick along with cleansing. Hits the apex better, doesn't go wide. It's gonna get him a little closer in the braking zone. Gets a much better exit. Less sliding.
Get that inside
But is
corner.
he brave enough? He is brave enough.
He is. Great move.
That is such a sketchy spot. If you're just a little too brave, you'll totally miss the apex and drive into the other cars. So it took quite some huge cojones to do that one. And it looks like he's driving away with it, pulling the gap now on Busick up to 0.7 seconds. So let's visit towards the back of the midfield now. Schwartz all over Mitchell. Reeling that gap in was 0.6, bringing it down to 0.4.
I believe the Sith Racing Alliance is leading the team championship, so Doug wants to reel in as many points as he can, even if he's not finishing high up.
Yes, sir. Oh, Getting all out of
Ooh,
sorts
that
back there.
Just, yeah, oh man.
Big
goes
wiggle
early
wiggle.
for match work.
Loses a whole second and probably going to pay more for it later with the dirty tires. And with that, now the race is totally calm. It's like a string of pearls. Big gap between all our cars now. So
Yeah, well,
let's see now who's gained the most since the start of the race now. Travis Robinson gaining 7 positions from the start, putting him up to P13. Same thing with Thomas right behind, 7 positions gained. Ramsey Conley gaining 8 to put him up into P16. And we won't talk about the losers because that's impolite. Well, Matt Sanchez as well gaining 7 positions up to P9. Huge. We might have a fight now brewing between Colin Madiak and Stephen Yoon.
I'd say it was about 8/10 was our closest
And I
gap
did
so
see a
far.
blue flag in there, so things might be getting spicy.
Yeah, and cleansing was just 2.4 seconds behind when I saw him last, but he's already 1.7 seconds behind.
But yeah, he's reeling in
Colin,
it.
he's fast.
That's a whole other strategy that these drivers have to play, especially on such a narrow track with these back markers. You know, you almost have to be even more patient to wait for the right time to pass them and then, you know, stay up with the person that you were competing with. So that's just a whole nother factor to think about.
So with Grant Cleansing taking tires, it looks like it propelled Dominic into P3, into the podium position.
Yep. He is happy. Well, let's stick with cleansing though. He's still reeling that gap in. Was 1 second. Now it's 0.5 on Colin Madiak.
Yeah,
Battle of the
he reeled
Autos.
in that gap so quickly.
It is 6:45 and the track has fallen again. It is now 24 degrees.
Chilly.
It is getting chilly out there.
Surely not.
He thought about it.
Oh, it
Oh, and
releases
he-
the brakes a bit
He did.
because he spooked
did.
Colin. Colin,
released early.
Colin braked wrong, spooked behind, so he missed the apex.
Grant, you
That like
slide
Grant
you.
letting off the brake pedal, tuck right in front. Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
Oh, meanwhile Sanchez losing position to Maris. Check that out. And what happened? Ooh,
Oh, he went
trying
off
to be a
track.
little
Slide a
too
little bit,
greedy,
yeah.
going too using too much track. He visits the sand instead.
And that is what happens. Once you lose it on one side, you can't grab. Traction goes out the window.
Oh, and did we miss Madiak losing position to Colin? Or to Grant? We must have. Cause,
No, we saw it on the top of the hill.
oh, right, sorry. And that puts Grant against in striking range from P4, but the podium is still 15 seconds away.
I mean, with the tires degrading and the concentration fading, you can never rule out a lapse in attention leading to a spin.
Yep, he's still in it. Meanwhile, Moses all over James still, getting that gap down to 0.2 seconds at a moment. Oh, Mitchell and Schwartz going side by side into the curb of death.
Looking at some of the comments right now in the stream, Aldred saying how many people are going to get caught out by Cheetah Curb during the race. My guess is 4. I believe that's a pretty close number right now.
I
Might
think we've already
actually
seen 2,
be
right?
more than that.
Or
Yeah,
3.
something like that. So just to hold that topic, try to see where we're at. He might be close though.
Mitchell still holding the inside, still fighting back, still going side by side on the exit. And the right-hander leaving him the inside for the left-hander. Oh, just barely has enough space afforded by Schwartz or Stefiak. No, excuse me, he's fighting Schwartz. But Schwartz tucks ahead for the right-hander. But misses the apex. Still has BMW all over the rear end of him.
Oh,
Caught him and then, oh man, was he able to make it back? Had to go over some grass there.
Flashing his lights.
Doug's on his bumper though.
He
Oh,
feels
that's-
entitled to move ahead. But speaking of, Cleansing just moves ahead of Yoon. Let's get a look at that. Oh, and he's flashing his signal, so it looks like he just relented. Yep, showed him the inside. Very polite there.
I guess he's more worried about keeping Colin behind than keeping Grant behind.
Yeah, strategic moves there on the defense.
Making up 3 positions though, coming back from P7. Grant showing that he's got no quit in him.
Absolutely. That would be race ruining. Well, I don't know. Maybe it was on purpose, but if the tires were accidental, that'd be race ruining for most other people.
His take on that, but I can't see how that would have. He intentionally wanted to change tires there.
Yeah,
With
the
no
race
damage,
is just too
cold
short.
track. Yeah, no, he wanted that 5 seconds and out.
Yeah, his tires must. The only way it was on purpose is if his tires were just totally off. But let's hop on board with Mitchell, who's still right behind Schwartz. Less than half a second between them.
Let's see if he can get it done. Close
And
that
Grant
gap,
Cleansing, his last lap setting a new best for the race, a 141.59. So yeah, he is not quit.
That is
He's just
rapid.
putting his hand down, his foot down even harder.
Absolutely.
If he can make up at least a second per lap, the podium is in for him.
And that
It's
will
true.
be close though. You're
Yep.
right. Good call, Dehi. Good call. And he knows it. Oh,
And,
Duran's got to drive through. Oh, that
oh.
must be from track cuts.
Oh,
Track
and not
limits
helping that
typically.
is Duran's last lap was a 143 flat, so he's not exactly speeding up.
Man.
So yeah, cleansing's
He
within
got
reach.
that one there. Absolutely.
Yeah, it looks like Josh Arnold in chat just asked that question, comparing the lap between Duran and Cleansing.
Yep, no problem. Let's hop on board our closest fight, Moses on James.
Oh, drive through.
Yeah, that's how. Yep. That
Brutal.
definitely helped cleansing for sure. Yeah.
Fortunately for him, the pit lane isn't too terribly long. Oh, getting close. There's gonna be a
Tyler
move
won
happening
mistake.
soon. Oh, and Maris is having a moment. Meanwhile, his gap is falling hugely. We won't hop to it though, because he didn't look like he lost the position.
This is a good battle right here. Tyler not one to fold under pressure either, so this isn't anything new to him.
Still keeping right on his tail, 100% pressure.
Definitely, Trav definitely wanted to do it too. He will put the pressure on, man.
Oh, it looks like Reynolds having another issue. Seeing a
Oh.
yellow flag pop up on my screen and his gap jumping up. But we're gonna stay
Was it
right
the
here where the
gap?
action is.
Oh man. Tyler taking
Oh.
a little wide there.
Mitchell bringing the gap down to Schwartz for P18 down to 0.1 second. Let's take a look here.
Yeah, no-
Going up to the hairpin.
And Matt has been extremely fast in that Lexus this season.
It has some insane acceleration and top speed.
That BMW taking a hell of a lot of corner, as is the BMW way to try and get a better exit onto that straight. Not so much this time.
Playing it a little safe there.
No curb of
So I
death, but he
think
did
giving-
drift quite a bit there. Did you see that?
Yes.
Yeah, they're giving the curve a lot of respect.
Meanwhile, back up ahead, the gap is still even tighter between Moses and James for P11. And the rest of the huge send. He does keep it
Wow.
clean on track though. That's a
Trav.
fine move.
What a move, Trav. Look
Let's-
at him. He
Let's
knows
see
we're
that from
watching.
his perspective.
He knows we're watching.
BMW gets a bit wide, slowing the exit. Early on the brakes, sends it right up the
yeah,
inside,
Who controls
undefended.
it?
Perfect.
What a move.
that was
Perfect.
Yep, textbook there. Absolutely.
Wait, was that Moses?
Why is Duran in the... Oh, right, serving his pit stop. And, oh, I lost my spot.
I get confused. There's Trav and Chris both had red cars. Was that Moses that just made the move? It must have been.
Sometimes it takes a minute for the grid marker to update.
Yeah.
But I could have sworn that was Trav.
Yeah.
Trav is 6 seconds behind James right now, so I think it might have been Chris.
Yeah, it might have. I could have sworn we saw Trav Robinson's name on there. Sorry, folks, for watching. We don't mean to get the mix-up, but
Oh, yeah, we're high fidelity, low effort here.
well said.
You give a
Oh,
bit of an
and
update.
Lehman with the drive-through. Gotta have more track cuts.
no.
Oh,
God,
no.
Come on. Self-inflicted.
So now Cleansing's already on the podium. Now it's
Look at
secured
this.
for him.
Easy. Oh my goodness.
Back in it, baby.
I took a
Oh,
look
man.
at the lap time charts, and
Threw a Hail Mary and caught the touchdown.
both Suniga and Matt Lima are putting in around like 42 and a half, and Cleansing was sticking to 41 and a half. So he's rapidly catching back.
Definitely. Let's hop back in with Mitchell and Schwartz. Now our closest fight. The only one within a second. BMW getting a bit squirrely there. That's what it usually looks like when I'm going through there. I love his livery, by the way. There's something
Really
so
nice.
tasteful about a white and black checkerboard fade. Love it. Love it.
Ours for last season. No, Doug's really good with the designs, man.
But
Has a
Lehman
good eye
losing out to
for it.
Cleansing, meanwhile up ahead for the podium. Let's take a look at that. Oh, it's
Yeah,
because
this
he
is gonna be
served
a good
his
battle.
pit.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep, and then right along. Oh man. Grant said, "Thank you. I'll take that."
That's gotta hurt. Hurt a lot. But
It looks like he
meanwhile,
can
that
still
fight
catch
with
up
Mitchell
in
is still
one
getting
spot.
close. Almost getting an overlap into the braking zone. Oh,
Whoa,
very
so
close. Chris shows him the
little
room
left tap.
just out of respect.
Yep.
Leaves them side by side
Just
on
a
the
little-
exit. Or
Trading paint, boys. It's all right.
just a bit of rubbing. And you'll see this all the time in real life racing, but in ACC, I don't know, just something about the physics. I don't know if it's the ratio of grip to what the game thinks that a pound, like what weight is and how strong gravity is. But you just give a car a little bit of a bump, they go a little bit over their maximum traction, suddenly they're sideways, which you wouldn't see in real life. It's the one real weakness in this game. Everything, the fidelity is fantastic, but things get weird with a little bit of contact.
The nuance there. Nope. Hear you loud and clear. Doug losing pace though on the straight.
Yep, and now that gap is slipped away. Now is almost a second and a half now. Well, Madiak is his gap's all over the place because he's looking for Yoon right up ahead.
9 minutes and 40 seconds left in this race. Like I said though, fellas, I was kind of on the server watching Suniga, and the guy was just
He's
unbelievably
fast. Like, from race one, he was so fast it stood out. It's like, whoa, who's this guy? The first time he showed up.
But you guys know that the key is consistency too, and that's just what he's been able to maintain this whole race. So good for him.
Yeah.
Not over yet, but definitely looking good for him. Can't wait to have a chat with Cleansling though. I mean, just for, that could have been a whole different conversation if we didn't have two drive-throughs from Duran and Lehman there.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna want to get his perspective on this race.
He's gonna be like, look, man, if I can take a miracle, I'll get it.
Now, one driver, not quite on the podium, but I'm sure is gonna be really happy, or at least if memory serves. But Kyalami, if he brings this home on a P5, it's gonna be, I think, his best finish, won't it be? I think, hasn't he had a string of bad luck the past couple races? Not trying to put you on blast, Colin, but
No, he'd be the first one to want to call that out too. I'm sorry, Dahi, go ahead.
No, he did have a tough race on Imola with a bad qualifying, climbing the way back up, but yeah, potentially this could be his highest finish.
with 8 minutes left, the field still, ladies and gentlemen, very spread out, but just what kind of ensues with a narrow grid. So, with a narrow circuit, excuse me. Sanchez in the Red Bull. Very good scrolling from the cameraman.
Thank you, thank you.
Very nice. Yes, sir. Very nice.
Looks like the front of the pack is still putting in low 43s. Suniga is putting in 142.5, and Grant Cleansing is putting in 41.5. Fresh tires do seem to make a difference, but it looks like it's not going to be enough.
It's like a blue flag involved here. Oh, sure the drivers are open, he gets out of the way.
Of course, this being the pro division, there shouldn't be any mishaps.
Yeah, drivers here are
Sometimes
quite
with the-
respectful of the rules and each other.
Yeah, and another thing is for inexperienced drivers, they may not realize what is the best time and place to let the lapping car pass.
Yeah, it's easy to panic. Looks like
Yeah, it takes time
Kyalami just
experience.
lost out to Schwartz. Let's check that out. Oh, probably a little wide on the exit there. Let's shows the
Oh, is that
insides
outside?
for a side-by-side. And he ducks out of it, or at least hits the brakes a little early, letting the other go right around the outside. Clean move. Mitchell's still fighting
Doug
back
looking
though,
like he's trying.
side by side.
Absolutely. Not giving up there from Doug.
Hard to hold the outside there though, especially if the other driver gets rude and shows you wide.
You don't get two of the same turn angles much in this track.
Ooh, side by side
So-
still.
Oh man,
How are they doing it?
Doug, and he's got it, and he made out with it.
And he makes it through the curb of death.
Has
Job's
that
done.
one on the side of his car for a reason. Yes, sir, boys.
Cover
Well
off
done,
the
Doug.
apex.
Good move.
Bag secured.
Looks like both of the Bentley boys have left the race, unfortunately. Looking back at the pit.
Oh, that's true. Fickard and Kim both are. What a shame. Kim was doing pretty
Yeah,
well
I
too.
know what happened?
Very
Do
sad
we know what
to
happened
see.
to Fickard? I mean, well, yeah, Evan just got into the bad incidents early on and kind of just
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Fickard's
knew he wouldn't be able to make up. Yep, yep.
That's unfortunate.
Unfortunate. Yeah, I wanted to really see Evan do well in this race. He was putting a lot of time in and was running consistently fast laps, so.
So let's check back
But
in
that's
with our
only-
race leader. It looks like he just got around a lapped car. And the gap between him and Cleansing, the former race leader, is a whole 20 seconds. So there were a couple cars between Suniga and Cleansing occupying the podium, but they had some moments. So Cleansing is struck back. I don't think he has quite enough time in the last two laps to bring back a 20-second gap, but he has firmly planted himself back on the podium with a commanding and very interesting drive.
Doug and Chris still battling it out. Or is that Matt? Excuse me, that's Matt.
Yes, it is.
For the drivers, we haven't checked out much at all this race. I guess Curtis has been just putting in a sort of a lonely race this time around. I know he's a solid, consistent driver.
Yeah, yeah, outside of the few bits that we did see, it's most of these guys have picked a spot that they were going to be in when they entered the pit lane or exited it, and the gaps have only gotten bigger.
We haven't seen too much of Connolly this race either.
Nope, just doing his own thing. Reynolds up ahead had a couple moments that brought the gap down between them, but not quite enough to give him another position. And Thomas into the wall.
Oh, the last couple of
man.
laps.
Oh, and he
Let's see
comes
what
out
happened
in
there.
reverse. Let's see how he did that to himself.
Hope he can spin the car around safely.
Oh, a little too greedy, lining up for the next corner.
Just touched it.
And
Yep.
that loses him 2 positions, looks like. But he does get back on track safely. Oh, and a third. Poor guy.
Yeah, but still finishing decently up on the grid. Gotta finish those last couple of laps. But I guess his tires are cooking right now.
Yep, but these are still points he's holding on to.
And one thing that we had in season 1 that I think we took away for season 2, not I think, I know, was the
already
driver of
way
the...
wide up ahead of them. Oh, that
Oh, man.
was that a blue flag that was just taking the dive? But
Doug's just drifting.
yeah, he is pushing.
Who's advanced the most tonight, Jess?
That would be Ramsey Connolly, actually.
Connolly.
Yeah, with
Well,
9 positions. It must have all been early or from pit stops or something, because I didn't miss too many on-track passes.
Yeah, it just had... Yeah, you're right.
We just heard that the leader is on the final lap.
That's right. So right now the only fight for track position left on the field right now is Mitchell all over Schwartz. So running out of
They've been
time to get it
battling
done.
out.
Which they've been
The
going at
entire
it for a couple laps now. Yeah, for sure. They have.
Doug wants it.
I'd like to see the SRA bring back driver of the day.
The driver of the day is whoever I say it is.
That's amen, sir. That's fine with me.
Or if there's enough
That's fine
vocal
with me.
people in chat, they choose.
We can do that too. We used to give an accolade for it, but kind of fell off. I think it was just still building up the league, and it was taking a lot for people to
Thomas
just
taking a
commit
little
to
bit of a
that.
detour, losing out 1 position. Let's check that out. Oh, is it the same corner? Is it the final corner? Oh no, he just a little too hot.
Went straight there, yeah.
Ends up having to go off the track. Comes on just fine though. Didn't lose too much time, just a position.
Alright man, the leader is on the final lap. Give it a final push.
Doug now pushing super hard to reel in Shorts.
Beniga on the last turn.
The leader has finished the race.
And the leader has finished the race. Well done
And
for
that
him.
is P1.
Congrats to him,
Nice
and
job.
Schwartz and Mitchell complete their battle crossing the line too. He's flashing his lights. I'm not sure if that was a celebration, like a high five, or anger.
I'm pretty sure it's a mix of everything.
And
Cleansing finishes.
Cleansing, yep.
followed shortly by Lehman. And that's our podium finishers for round 5 of SRA's Season 2 GT3 Team Championships.
What a race.
Yeah, lots of action there. Till maybe the last bit of it kind of settled down.
Let the rest of the grid cross the checkered, and we'll start getting some folks in here for a chat.
Yeah, let's see if the podium finishers actually hop onto the chat tonight. It seems pretty bare at the moment.
Yeah, quite frequently we see the I'll call them the tryhards. I think they're off in their own channels or their own discords. They don't hang around in general like us casuals do during the race.
The OGs.
Yeah, I don't see them anywhere. Not a one.
Wow.
Let me see if I can message them to hop onto the Discord.
Yeah, otherwise I'm gonna have to start pulling up some other people to. Oh, I see cleansing.
I see Cleansling now in the general. He's in the general. And he's in the cooldown. Okay,
Yeah,
with
let's
Tyler.
get him in here. Hey Grant, congratulations. We watched a lot of that drive. Crazy race. You want to give us your perspective on it?
Yeah, it was 30 minutes of me doing well and then 30 seconds of screwing up. I accidentally took tires in the pits.
Man,
Oh, so
tell
it
us
was
about
an
that
accident.
though.
We were
Had
speculating.
Yep.
Yeah, I totally was not expecting to take tires and just completely forgot to check the box. I was up on the stands for about 3 seconds and went, oh no. And I think it was during, yeah.
Yep.
And
Came in my
so
favor,
sorry, everybody. I went to the wrong panel, so you didn't hear us. But I was just saying he was rapid when he made his accidental pit stop, and was easily able to capitalize on the mistakes in front of him. So yeah, the catapulted him back firmly into P2. So great stuff, man.
Yeah, well
Yeah,
done,
thank
Grant.
you.
Great race, man.
Thank you.
All right, we can pull out Samuel.
Yep, let's get Suniga in here. Hey, sorry about that. Hey Sam, congratulations. Great finish.
Thank you, thank you.
So you're a relative newcomer here, and
Yes.
quickly floated to the top. Who invited you here? I need to go yell at them.
You can go yell at Moffat and Kaitezovic.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah.
No.
So,
No, man, tell us about the race though, from your perspective.
It actually went way better than I expected because it was the most consistent race I have ever done in my entire life. Like I was running solid low to mid 42s, which was a lot better than I expected.
excellent.
Yeah, that was very solid.
Absolutely. No, hell of a race, man, and that's the name of the game. Really, is consistency. So well done. I was telling everybody on the stream too that I've been watching you in the server practicing, and I mean, you were just lightning quick. So, no, welcome to the SRA, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
What went through your mind when you exited the pit and Grant wasn't there?
Uh, I was kept to myself. I was just I just kept my head down. Just finished the race. That's all. That was all in my mind.
Oh, yeah, just
But
put your head
I
down
was
and just
also
go
pretty
through.
good. It was also I had a bit of like I guess I did explain for Joy a little bit because it was also a pretty good pit stop. I went straight up on the Jackson. Although I did have a lot tiny little mishaps getting getting my car started back up, it was fine because I was able to get back out quickly.
Anyways, congratulations. That's a great race from you.
Thank you. Great
Absolutely,
racing with
Sam.
you guys.
Yes, sir. See you next week.
All right. And did we have our P3 finisher?
Yep.
Yep, Matt Lehman right there. Let's bring him in. Hey Matt, congratulations. Great drive. You want to tell us about the race from your perspective?
Yeah, thanks. Not sure about great drive, but I'll take it. I think I finished P3, right?
Yes,
sir.
yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I do owe you a big apology. There was a little error on the back end, and you started with a 30-kilogram ballast. We were very sorry about that. But even with it, you just showed incredible pace.
Oh no,
Yeah, no,
it was a mistake.
yeah, no, don't worry about it.
Oh, how
Like, truth be told,
unfortunate.
like, I didn't notice it until, like, we were lined up on the grid. So I was like, I noticed it when I was checking out the timetable as I was doing the setup. I'm like, oh shit, that's probably a mistake. But at that point, it was too late. But yeah, just like my race, like, I just didn't really have pace compared to Grant and Samuel. Um, You know, I tried taking care of the tires early on in the stint, but then I saw them pulling away, so I started pushing. And when I started pushing, I started sliding, and yeah, I just went downhill from there. And then I got a drive through for track limits, so yeah, that was pretty much that.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate.
Even with it, you kept the podium finish, though. Just shows you how much you were pulling ahead from the rest of the grid.
Yeah, I think I'll take a P3. You know, like definitely wasn't a great job on my part. Like I felt like I made quite a few mistakes, but yeah, solid finish overall.
Anyways, congratulations.
Yep. Thanks. We'll see you next week.
Well done,
Cheers.
Matt. See you next week. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. Cut you short there. But anyway, for everybody viewing right now, just to be clear, the standings you're seeing right now are as of last week. This is not updated for the race finish for this week. So if you want updated standings, there's a link for everything, including signups and registrations, to participate in these races, which are free to entry. Come join us at Sim Racing Alliance. Come see our Discord. Anything else to say?
Absolutely. No, just season 2, race 5, Kyalami, GT3 Team Series in the books, fellas. It was a great race. So, Alex Daniel with Dahi and Jess in the box.
Thanks. Tune
Thank
in
you,
next
gentlemen.
week.
Yeah, it was a
Absolutely.
pleasure.
Take care.